Now, to gain more insight into the Minority Caucus's position, we are joined by the MP, or the NPP Member of Parliament for Ifya and private legal practitioner Isaac Boamah-Nyarko. Thank you very much and welcome, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Firma, for having me.
Right, so let's just go straight to the conversation. You know, you have issues with the Attorney General withdrawing some cases that you deem critical, but is it not within his powers, you know, to withdraw any case that he deems unfit for prosecution?
Firma, that is very, very scandalous on the part of the Attorney General, if I may put it bluntly. Attorney General, of course, under the Constitution, has powers to exercise his functions. If you go to Article 296, the authority of the Attorney General or his discretion is supposed to be used fairly. Now, when you look at the powers that he's exercising under the Criminal Offences Code, our Procedure Act, Act 30, the Attorney General has power to enter nolle prosequi, where any person who is being prosecuted, he can stop or discontinue the prosecution. Similarly, when you look at Section 59 of the Criminal Code, he has the power to also withdraw prosecution. Now, the question is, what is informing the decision to withdraw or enter nolle prosequi in these instances? The Attorney General has a responsibility to protect the public purse. These are persons who are being prosecuted, not now. Some of the cases date back to 2018 under Gloria Akufu, who was then the Attorney General. If you take the case of Opuni and the rest, it was in 2019. You take the case of Isiama from the Bank of Ghana, it started in 2018. And these processes, we believe in the rule of law. And so all these cases have run over a period of time. There are frustrations along the way. People have the right to use legal channels to challenge some of the actions of the then Attorney General. But we've come so close. Some of the cases, the Attorney General have closed their case. If you take the case of Isiama under the UT Bank, the Attorney General has closed the case. Opuni, Seidu Agongo, Attorney General has closed the case. It's just a matter of the court to reach the point where they are going to give judgment. And then boom, the Attorney General comes and is withdrawing. What is even more worrying is the timing of this withdrawal. The Attorney General was just sworn in by His Excellency the President. And 2 days, just 2 days in office, he starts entering these.
But of course, but everybody, he's been following these cases, you know, so does it really matter how long he's been Attorney General? And considering the length of time, you have mentioned some of these cases have dragged on for too long. And so people probably might think this is what is informing his decision.
Never. The former president, Professor Ivan Satta-Mills, said the rules of justice grind slowly.
This is extremely slow.
We can't say this about the liberties of people. When it comes to criminal prosecution, it's about the liberties of people. And so you need to give the person the right to use all available legal avenues to make his case. Then at the end of the day, the judge can pronounce judgment. Why were they prosecuted? Some were prosecuted under causing financial loss to the state to the tune of over $250 million US, others over $217 million or Ghana cedis. So why are we not allowing the court processes to end? This is a country where people ought to be held accountable. So if your people are being prosecuted, this is by a court of competent jurisdiction.
Right.
They have legal representation. They filed all their processes. So why do we get to a point where you are just sworn in as a government and then within a twinkle of an eye, less than 2 weeks, 7 major cases have all been withdrawn? Are they the only cases in Ghana? Is that the only files before the Attorney General? Why is he only interested in cases that involve causing financial loss? And we turn around and say we want to fight corruption and the rest. I think it is very scandalous on the
Now, your side thinks that there's no justification for this. So what exactly do you want? Do you want the Attorney General to provide explanation? Do you want the cases to be continued? What do you want?
What is even worrying, Firma, is that the Attorney General, you know, if you withdraw, if he had only entered nolle prosequi, then the interpretation is that at any point in time, based on whatever information that led to him entering that nolle prosequi, the case can be brought up again for prosecution if other evidences are brought. But in cases where he's done withdrawals, the withdrawal, if the Attorney General of Ghana has ended, or if the prosecutor have ended their case, and the state enters a withdrawal, what it means is that the person is acquitted, meaning that you cannot even try the matter again. Look at the painstaking investigations that went into these matters. They were not done by the government. It was done by the police, some were done by state attorneys, people we have paid with taxpayers' money. And they've done all of these investigations, come to a position that they can be prosecuted. Evidences have been brought. And then you come to this end and then you are withdrawing all these matters. So what about the expense? The AG himself is causing financial loss to the state. It's unpardonable. I feel very sad as a Ghanaian. Where are we taking the fight of corruption to? If the government of John Mahama, if the government is saying, you have just started setting up ORA without even legal basis, you've set it up, now you've given the cases to Attorney General to go and do what? To also go and prosecute? Prosecute which cases? You are withdrawing cases and then you are asking that you be given the power to go and prosecute others. I think it is unpardonable.
So what's the minority going to do now?
Power is vested in the state, and the state is represented by the president. Attorney General has exercised his discretion. We disagree, and we are bringing the matter to the fore of Ghanaians. Ghanaians ought to be explained to. The AG ought to tell Ghanaians the basis for the withdrawals and discontinuance. Why those cases? And the funny part of it, and the most worrying, is that you withdraw a case on the Isiama, former deputy governor of Bank of Ghana, and the next day he's giving appointment as governor of the Bank of Ghana. What signal are we giving to the international community? What signal are we giving the international bodies? That someone who has been charged, not acquitted, but case withdrawn, and the next day you are giving him a higher appointment as governor of the Bank of Ghana?
Well,